Okay, yeah. Good evening, great minds. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. So we are live now. We are live now. We are live now. Welcome to day 3. Welcome to day 3. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to day 3 of Back to School Leadership Bootcamp. Welcome to day 3 of Back to School Leadership Bootcamp. Welcome. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Welcome. Good evening. Oh, good evening, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for staying at alert. Wow. Thank you. Good evening. How are you? How's the family? How was your weekend? Yes, good evening, great minds. Good evening to everyone who's joining us now. Please type in the comment section your name and where you're joining us from. Yeah, I've seen hello from Mrs. Oyelade, our mother, director, everything. Mama, thank you always. Okay, so type in the chat section. Yes, from Abuja. Abuja, yeah, Abuja. First person to join in tonight is from Abuja. First to join tonight from Abuja. Okay, good evening, sir. Mr. Sikira Ablaziz Kaduna. That's fantastic. You were here on day 1, and thank you for being here for day 3. Yes. So type in the comment section your name and where you're joining us from. Your name and where you're joining us from. Tonight, we want to make it brief and very direct so that we all can wrap up by 9:30 p.m. and so we have a good time to rest and prepare for tomorrow. Okay, type in the chat section your name and where you're joining us from. Your name and where you're joining us from. It is day 3, and I honestly welcome you all for joining us. Day 3, and then we call it a wrap. Yes. We'll start just in about 2 minutes. We'll make sure we just go into this right away. So share the invitation with school leaders in your network. We are starting now. Beautiful. Yes. Okay. Okay, Mr. or Mrs. Ajayi Temitope, where are you joining us from, please? Where is your location? Nice meeting you. My first time I'm seeing the name here. Yes. Okay. Please confirm if my slides are up now. Can you see my screen? Can you see my slides? Please confirm. Can you see my slides? Please confirm. Can you see my slides? Once I have a yes, then we will. Okay, Mrs. Ajayi Temitope from Abeokuta. Okay, my slides are up fine. So we're starting right away then. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so welcome to day 3 of Back to School Leadership Bootcamp. And just as we started on Friday evening, yesterday, that was last night, that was Saturday, and today's Sunday. Okay, so on Friday, a quick brief. Okay, if you missed any of the 2 sessions, please request for the link, and then the slides and the resources are also available on the WhatsApp community, so you can access them. So day 1, we delve into building the culture of quality in our schools. And yesterday it was about financials, budgeting, pricing, and revenue model. So today it's about school growth, right? Everything, this program is, we really designed it in a way to capture everything that is important for you to have a great term, and of course a new session ahead. We believe that third term is the most strategic term of the year, of the academic year, and it is important that you go back to the boardroom for in this term, this third term, get things right. Don't wait till August before you start planning, because there are some feedbacks, there are some corrections, there are some activities that you need to do right now to ensure you retain your customers and attract more by first term. That's September. I hope you're clear. So tonight is about school growth, right? And mostly when people talk about school growth, they tend to see it from the perspective of enrollment alone. They tend to see it from the perspective of numbers, either the financials or increase in the number of students on enrollment. So tonight I'm going to bust your bubble that yes, enrollment is very important, but what can really make it really sustainable is balancing impact and enrollment. Okay, so the growth equation is that impact and enrollment, because where impact is missing or where impact is lagging behind, even if you have high enrollment, most likely that kind of growth is not well prepared for, and then before you know it, it will even bring the school back. I mean, if the school is not able to sustain impact, right? So tonight we're going to talk about impact, the growth equation, so impact and enrollment. So what do we mean when we say growth equation? We're talking about data, right? On Friday night, I've talked to you about collecting data from stakeholders and analyzing those data, right? So those data that you analyze will help you to identify the trends in your students' performance, the trends in enrollment, the trends in parent satisfaction, the trends in the industry beyond your school, the trends in policy models, in business, in economy, the trends. Even right now, this China America trade war, you need to understand what it is about and how it will impact your school. So you need all of those information, as much as possible, and you start to put together the meaning. You start making meaning out of those information that you have, and make informed decisions that can enhance your own quality offering, the school's education quality offering, and that can help you promote the school, that can help you accelerate your school growth. I hope that is well taken. That this third term, we're going to get as much data as possible from all stakeholders and also observe the trends in technology, in education, in economies, in business, within and outside Nigeria, because all of these have a way of impacting what happens in our schools. And secondly, engaging community. You cultivate strong relationships with local businesses and families to create a supportive. I will discuss this further later tonight. It says that when we're talking about impact, you see, when schools or when businesses are applying for grants, grants sound like free money because you don't have to pay back most of them. I'm talking about financial aids, grants, and all of that. But one thing very important when you're seeking grants, when you're applying for grants and all of those opportunities, is that they really want to measure, they really want to see how well you have, how well you are engaging the community in terms of partnerships, in terms of impact, in terms of driving benefits. So just today, in one of my communities where I belong, um, the executive director, shared a link, and that link is to reward three women in each of the continents in the world for impact. It's an impact-driven grant. I think $100,000 or something like that. So the emphasis is that whichever industry you are, regardless of the industry where you serve or anything, they are up, you can apply, but what they really want to measure is the impacts you've had in the community over the years. That yes, you're running a business, but what is that the impact of your business? So beyond saying, oh, when I teach students in this school, I teach them, prepare them for the future, what is the community gaining from you? So tonight I'm going to share with you some of the things you can do in your community to engage community, to drive partnership, to build impact, so that when you are pitching your business forward to international communities, to international magazines, so you have data of, oh, this is what we have done, this is what we have done, this is what we have done. You have impact that you have built over the years. And then yeah, curriculum. Last night I talked, was it last night? Yeah, on day one, we talked so much about academics, right? Making sure that you really design a unique learning experience for the children in your school, making sure that you support each child to attain their fullest potential, right? So because I mentioned at that day one that the real magic to school growth is in quality, is in the culture of the school. It is not something external, right? Okay. So tonight we also talk about marketing, branding, all of that. So let's move on. Don't worry. Let's move on. Um, Let me see. The slides are not clear. Okay. Don't worry. I'll share it in the group. But in the meantime, what can I do to make it clear? Let me try. Let me try. Probably increase the size. So let me see. Uh, Let me reduce it a little. Okay, I think, yeah, sorry. Okay, so while waiting for me to really get that fixed, why does school growth matter? Why does it really matters now? Remember, I said that our goal is to build profitable and sustainable schools, that we want schools to thrive and to thrive for long. And for schools to really thrive for long, there really needs to be growth. And please understand that when we're talking about growth, is not about enrollment alone, it's not about financials alone. There are times that the growth in the business may be about building the quality of the internal systems. Let me share an example from my own company. From November 2024 up to like March 2025, our focus for our company growth was on internal systems. It was about internal structure, internal systems, really, really, really fixing things, getting things right, making sure we have a solid internal structure. So there are lot of metrics that you can use to measure growth. So growth is not only about enrollment, it's not about enrollment, but first of all, make sure you prioritize quality, because when you have a strong internal system, whatever number of the more number of clients or customers that you have, make sure you have already built a solid system to take them in, right? So that when they come, you are able to have their trust. Yes. So welcome every beautiful person who's joining us for tonight. Welcome everyone. Okay, so why does school growth matter? One is that increased demand. More families are seeking quality education options for their children. Take this or leave this. Parents are on the lookout every time for what is best. What is the next best thing? What is the next best thing? What is the next best thing in education? And if as a school branch, you are not proactive, you are not thinking ahead, you are not solving that problem ahead, before you know it, you just say that you are out of business, because you are not constantly innovating, you are not constantly thinking ahead, you are not proactive solving that problem ahead. Because one thing about parents is that what drives them, the whole thing that drives parent is not what really drives it is not like the old school. It may just be one tiny thing, one reason that parents stay glued to your brand, right? And you need to know what that little thing is that make each family stay glued to your brand. When you know it, make sure you do it well, you keep innovating, you keep doing it well, you are the best at it. So they don't see another alternative, they don't see another school doing that same thing that you're doing, but doing it in a better way for them to really go away from the school. So make sure that as parents are seeking higher quality, you are also thinking ahead, providing that solution ahead. Why school growth also matter in the sense that in terms of diverse programs, expanding enrollment allows for a wider variety of academic and extracurricular programs. Last night, I shared ideas on some diverse programs that you can have in your school beyond the mathematics, English, all of those things that you're doing. Know it that parents, though somebody they may say, "Oh, this school they do too much paparazzi," they only complain if the activities you're doing, those extracurricular programs, involve that they bring potato to school today, next tomorrow they say bring egg, another day, within the week they're already bringing like 3, 4, 5 different items, right? When you have actually not informed them during admission process, or you have not prepared their mind ahead that, see, we are innovating, we are doing this, we are doing this, and this so reason, and give a very very solid reason that you really want each child to explore, and through those explorations you'll be able to discover their full potential, and then you'll be able to support them to be the best in their potentials, right? So if you have not given that, communicated with them ahead, and then they just see notification this letter, please, parents of year one, bring potato tomorrow, um tomorrow, next tomorrow they say bring egg, they may get tired. So make sure that when you are inculcating extracurricular programs, diverse activities, and all of that, make sure there is proper communication with parents and you all are on the same page. That way they will love it. And please ensure it does not involve that they bring money, they make payment again. Because one thing about families is that once they make payments in terms of fees, tuition fees or school fees, whichever name you want to call it, they don't like it when you say bring 500 naira today, bring 1,000 naira tomorrow, bring 5,000 naira next week or something. Make sure that all your activities are well prepared. You have already included them in your academic calendar. You have included the cost in your tuition or whatever. You don't need parents to pay you extra for those activities. So when they are not paying you extra for those activities, and when they have that information ahead, they'll be able to cooperate with you to achieve the goal you want for those extracurricular programs. I hope that is clear. And then in terms of resource optimization, you'll be able to maximize existing resources. Sometimes when we're thinking about well, a lot of time, as humans, when we are thinking about what we don't have. Really don't take closer look at what we have. that we are underutilizing. I remember during one some years ago, the school where I was serving, where I was teaching, um, the school had a tradition of what's it called? Every term we change classroom decorations, classroom boards, and all of that every term. So what teachers do is just that by the end of the term, they pull out the keyboard, the cardboards, the everything on the wall, put everything, take them out, put them in the store. Then we start designing new ones, doing the thing, and make the classroom beautiful again, and then make sure everything is designed in line with the topics for the new term. And then me, as a curious person, I went to the store. When after each day, I'll go to the store, bring out the keyboard. The keyboard we have used the keyboard has white color in the front, and then a gray color at the back. So we have used the white parts, for our decorations and all of that. Then I'll just turn the keyboard to that gray part, put my, use permanent marker, the colored one, blue, red, all of that. And then I was teaching nursery too, and then I'll come up with I could let me say let me use an instance. When there was a time I taught WH, our phonics sound for the week was WH. WH sound what, and then we exempted who, what, where, and all of that. So I used that keyboard to create a kind of a clock, right? Like a wheel. I call it a wheel anyway, but in the circle shape. Okay, this is a wheel. And then I put some activities, it looks like a game. I use that keyboard to design it. And then, just with my marker and little paparazzi, the wheel was ready. And then it's just for the child to move the keywords and read, pronounce, then make sentences at the corner. But beyond anyone being happy, I felt happy and fulfilled because just there, we've been there in the store, and after we have put it together for like 3 times, the whole store will be so dirty. They will now start packing them out and trashing them. So look at how you can maximize resources that can lead to better educational outcomes and efficiency. And then school growth again, you can see that all of this that I'm talking about, they are taking us to school growth, school growth, school growth. Because sometimes when school owners think about school growth, they think it is something external. School growth is internal. Growth is internal. Let's get that right. Growth starts from within. It starts from within the school leader, him or herself. It starts from within the leader, then to this business environment itself. That's the school. It starts from within. It is not something external. It's not like you can just invite somebody like me and say, yes, I want my school to grow. And then you think I'll just go and bring children in the community to come to your school. No, the first thing what I'll do is I'll help you identify the challenges, the current needs, what are the current needs, and then we start building strength from within your system, and that will take us to, by the time we have already even started that, people parents will have read, oh wow, we are happy, we feel satisfied. And with their satisfaction and referrals, it start increasing. And by the time we even put more marketing strategies, we have the numbers. So growth starts from within. Let's get that tonight. Financial stability. Remember last night I said that budgeting budgeting helps the school's financial health, right? When you know your expected income, your expected expenses, and you're able to draw out a clear plan on how you want to do everything. Not like you run out of funds by end of June, or you're already out of funds by end of July, and then there is still August salary there, and then you are owing teachers salary in July. You in August, you tell them, it's so, you come up with a story, you don't do anything in August and everything, and then you are paying them July salary in September. I already mentioned yesterday that do your budgeting in terms of your salary, fixed salary with your bank. Discuss with your bank, with your account officers. There are ways that you can fix salaries so that amount is out of your total bank account balance. So you are not seeing millions when the millions are actually not for you. All right, so community engagement. I've discussed earlier that tonight we are going to talk about those partnerships and involvements that you can have within your local community that can enhance the school's impact, and then innovative practices. adopting new teaching methodologies and technologies. Please, your school should not be 100% predictable. What I mean by that is that in terms of quality offering, it should not be the same routines day in, day out. It's just they come to school after the assembly, they just do maths, English, and blah blah blah, and then they go back home. Same thing, no new experience, no new, like the children, they are not feeling it. If you and I had to look back at our primary and secondary school days, I'm sure a lot of us won't remember what the economics lessons, like what the teacher taught, or the mathematics or English. Will remember activities, events, activities, those times when we had something engaging, that we were engaged in our learning, that we were taking ownership of our learning. We'll remember those kind of sessions better than when the teacher is standing in front of the class and just talking to students like the way I'm talking to you right now, right? So let's move on. Okay, I won't take too much time explaining this. I've explained in the previous slide what does school growth really mean. It's not just about student numbers. It means academic excellence, operational excellence, positive reputation. Some schools are really doing fantastically well, but they don't have that reputation that can speak for their brand when they are not there physically. So financial health, community trust. So don't worry, we'll deal with it. We'll deal with it. Let's move on. So in the chat section, feel free to type in the chat section the keywords, your key takeaways from this class. Feel free to use the chat section to put that together. And if you don't have your notes with you, please make sure you have your notes. As I'm talking, some ideas may pop in into your mind, so you quickly note them. That's very important. Okay, so but let's look at this dangers of unplanned growth. When um, school growth is not planned, like it just happened, we just have this increase in enrollment, and then before you know it, we see that the school does not have resources to cater for those new enrollment, and it affects the quality of education in the school. And before you know it, parents start complaining. I remember there was one of our people used to say, "Oh, she doesn't want a secondary school," and our main reason was that she believes that the school lacks the resources to take care of that secondary. That as much as they were doing so well in primary, and which is true, as much as if your school is a primary school and you're doing very fine, very well, chances are by the time children are in year 6 and they want to graduate, parents will start, the children will start crying. They will start crying. Parents will start asking you, which secondary school are we going now? Can we go? That will meet up with what you have been doing for us here. We love that you have a secondary school for our children, this and that. And if you go back to your board, to your team, and you look at it, if you don't have resources to start a secondary school, don't, because of that emotional, that feelings, yes, it's always uneasy to part, to leave them and let them go. Don't just because of that emotional feeling alone start a secondary school. But because what you will need at the long run is beyond that emotion, is beyond that feeling of letting them go. You really, really, really need helpful resources. And resources for secondary school, they usually cost more than primary most times. They cost more than primary most times. Okay, so make sure when we're talking about enrollment, make sure that there are adequate resources to cater for those increased number, because without that, it will affect the quality of education. There could be community resistance if the school is growing and the quality of education is dropping, probably because there are no resources. The community, they may, parents may start forming an alliance against the school or even the community. Staff burnouts can happen because they can be overloaded, and it can reduce their morale, because I mentioned it, I think, on was it yesterday, that when the owner of the business is cranky, walks into the school cranky and angry and passes that aggression to the staff, before you know it, the staff may have reduced morale and it will affect their effectiveness at the job. Then reputation risk, quality compromise. Well, I've explained. So what all of this just mean is that if you don't plan for your school to grow, if you don't plan your school's quality, impact, and enrollment, it can, there can be a backlash. There can be a backlash. So you need to really plan for it. Okay, I've explained. This is just like opposite of what we have explained earlier, like benefits of school growth. Okay, key drivers. What are the key drivers I've mentioned earlier? But let me just touch on the parts that I did not mention, and that part is about vision and positioning. Vision and positioning. I've talked about academic and professional excellence yesterday. So today, our focus will be that vision. I discussed vision briefly on Friday night. But because there is positioning now, I'll need to take it again here. The marketing and branding, customer service culture, student success and well-being, community engagement. Okay, so let's move on. So vision and positioning. Let me make this very clear. So you to have a clear vision for the school brand. Okay, it is bold now. So vision and positioning, beyond the vision statement, we talked about the vision statement on Friday, mission statement and core values. Now, beyond that is that there should be a unique identity to your school, right? So your school as an entity, who are you? Can you define who your school is in terms of it being an entity? Who are you? You really need to sit back and think about this. So look at every component of what you're doing in your school and look at what really, really makes your school a school. What really sets it apart from the crowd? What are you doing? Is it that your school is such a safe space? For some schools, it is about safety, safeguarding, child protection. The child is respected, the child is protected. That may be your unique identity. And part of respecting the child, I mentioned some things on Friday, but another part to it is that you're doing child appropriate event activities that can help the children at each of their milestones. So you now need to look at it. What is your unique identity? What do you stand for? Your school, what does your school stand for? In terms of core values and culture, we've talked about that on Friday. And what is your promise? Here is what I want us to deal with. What is your brand promise? When parents come to enroll their children in your school, what is that phrase or sentence that serves as a promise that you see once your child is in this school, these are the experiences that the child will build, or this is who your child will become, or what is your brand promise? What is your brand promise? You can write it down, brand promise, and start thinking about it. You can even Google it, ask ChatGPT and all of that. Brand promise. Every brand that you see that have been there for 200 years, 100 years, 50 years, and all of that, they have something that they have constantly promised their customers. Like MTN, this brand promise can come in as a tagline. Mm? When MTN says everywhere you go, it means MTN is promising us that everywhere we are, their network will be available for us to use. That's a brand promise. So look at your brand. What is the promise? At Growth Master, we're saying ours is building profitable and sustainable school. So it means everything, every activity we are doing, our services, our products are designed to one thing, profitable and sustainable schools, right? So what is your brand promise? It is very important. It is your clear value proposition to parents, right? Okay, we'll be having some We'll be having some classes later in the term where we'll teach school owners how to design VPCs, value proposition canvas, and some other strategic tools that are really helpful. But in the meantime, what is your clear value proposition to parents? What is your brand promise, right? So start putting that thoughts together start putting that thoughts together. So this is what it really means to really position your school, because a school can only be positioned where there is, the school has an identity, it has a culture, it has a promise, right? And that promise is the value proposition. Okay, so your vision should inspire trust and differentiate you. Okay, that's very important. I move on. Operational excellence, we really, really went deep into this on Friday. So talking about, just briefly for those who were not here, this is just talking about your administration and your internal systems. And I used to say it that it is like the skeletal body of the business. As human being, we have skeleton, we have the flesh, and all of that. So the internal system, the internal structure of the school is like the skeleton. So everything you're doing is built up on this internal system, and that has to do with your policies, your processes, your practices, right? So let's move on. I know this is all what you all have been waiting for. So marketing, branding and marketing. Okay, excuse me, please give me a moment. Okay. So for marketing, we'll start with brand awareness, because in marketing we call something KLT, that customers need some, the structure in marketing is KLT. Customers need to know about your brand. They need to know about your brand. They need to like your brand, and they need to trust your brand. When they know your brand, when they like your brand, when they trust your brand, that's when they'll be able to pay you for the value that you're offering. So, but when they don't know, so we need to start with that. Brand awareness is about that, knowing about your school. How do you want to build the awareness? How do you want parents to know about your school? What activities do you need to do? What engagements do you need to have to really make parents, prospective parents know that, oh, ABC school exists in XYZ community, right? So knowing about your school brand. And in creating brand awareness, is not about, you need to find something very appropriate that can help you target the right kind of customers that you want for your school. For instance, you can't be an international school and then think about going doing jingles from street to street, or from markets places and all of that, or to marketplaces, and then you run those jingles, they come to your school, they ask for the bill, and then even seeing your school, they walk in, they are like, is not the right place for us. They see your bills and they're like, no, this is not the right place for us, right? So your the brand awareness needs to start with those things that will really attract the type of parents that you want. And that includes events and activities. Let's say in your school, every term probably you organize one event for parents, I mean, it is part of your what you charge them for your tuition fee, your bill that you did yesterday. So maybe it is mommy's day out or something. And then you tell the mommies to bring two of their friends. Each mommy should bring two mommies. Come along with two mommies. And then the register ahead. So you're able to confirm the number and plan appropriately. Then you take them out maybe to a park or something. You invite a married counselor, a counseling psychologist, or somebody to talk about mental health, mental well-being, or families and all of that. So that is brand awareness, because you are able to of course you're able to retain your own customers. You're able to build you are able to increase the trust they have in your brand, and you have activated the referral button that way, because they brought their friends, and their friends, from the experience, from the way they experience your school, they, oh yeah, this is nice, we love this, so in fact this is, and then that is brand awareness. But why I share that example is that they will bring their friends, like the type of person that you want, right? Let's say you have actually attracted the middle class families. When they want to bring their friends, they are most likely going to be somebody within that same class, right? And then let's say webinars, online engagements, online webinars, or online engagements that is free and open, or even online open day, monthly open day programs, monthly open house for parents, and all of those. So all of those open house for parents, where they walk into your school, they come in, parents see the activities, just a day event, and then you take them through what you do, welcome everyone, so this and all of that. But before they come in for that open house, you already collect their data in terms of their name, their contact number, their email, the age of the child they have, or what class their child is, and all of that. And then you have that data. With that data, you'll be able to prepare for that open house. You know the number of parents you want to receive in your school. They sign in, and then they walk into your school. That's the brand awareness. Open house for parents is brand awareness. Events, physical events where parents bring their friends, is brand awareness. What's it called? Another example is going to strategic places where you believe that in this place we'll have 50% of our target customers here, or 70% of our target customers here. That is brand awareness. So let's say if a school is a medium cost school, and you have a marketplace, I mean a market that has there are markets and there are markets. There are markets where the traders are low income earners, and there are markets where, yes, there are real odogus inside. Okay, though they are regular traders, but they are real odogus when it comes to money. So you go to those kind of market that really is really helpful for you. So if your school is medium cost school, yes, go to the odogus. If it is a low income school, you can still relate with the traders and all of that, and then have your number. And do face to face. There is this term that we use in marketing: interaction with them. Not you, I'm not talking about you, but your team, probably two, three people within your team who are very well outspoken. They won't tell lies, they won't trick parents. They're going to convince them using your brand promise. That's what they're going to promise them. That's what the value they are going to propose to them. They are not going to promise stuff that you don't do, right? And then let's say you have your school brochure, or your yearbook, or your trifold brochure. Please, when you are printing, these flyers, these regular flyers, most people, they just trash it. Most people, but if you really want something engaging, at least use a trifold brochure. This flyer that is folded in three places, and then the information, the activities, and everything is able to capture something very really interesting about your school, that it won't be easy for them to just trash it in the bin. So you're able to use that to engage them, or you have a yearbook, or you have, or even for those of them who have smartphone, you have your website, Instagram handles, and Facebook handles. You quickly show them the website link, all of that. Let them go there and explore further, all of those things, and then you collect their details, their phone, because when you just talk to them and you don't have their details, like when you talk to them and you see that they are interested, they're like, oh, okay, so where is the school? This is and that. Oh yeah, oh. Don't leave them like that. Have their contacts for follow-ups, right? That is also brand awareness. Um there are a lot of activities you can do to achieve this. So I've just shared a few ones. Going to strategic places. Let's say if your school is a faith-based school, you know where to go. And then even kiddies events, activity like all these kiddies parties, or there are some events in Lagos like maybe Steam Fest or something, Kids Steam Fest or something like that. All of those kind of activities where parents walk in, where parents come in, and all of that. Partner with those organizers. Now, yes, I have a school, a medium course school or an international school, and then have a stand, be a partner, have a stand, and make things really attractive, meet with parents, do all of those things. They are really helpful. Most times they will really charge you too much and you get more than what you invested for that opportunity, right? How about malls, featuring. I saw something really recently. The company is called Get Seen. Let's say you own an international school or a medium course. This is what it's for, like medium course and international school. So what the Getsin brand, what they do is they feature business adverts in strategic places, and you are able to choose where you want to be featured. Let's say all these eateries, malls, and all of that have TVs, right? So they design an advert, a brief advert for you, and then they keep repeating it. Probably you subscribe for a month, or you subscribe for a day, you subscribe for whichever subscription you do. And then when parents walk in into, there's this on their list. I've checked, there is this popular coffee place in Ikeja that is also on their list, right? So let's say if your school is in Ikeja, you know that parents walk into that place, they will like it, and then when they see the school, the information, it's awareness. You are building awareness. But what I am emphasizing with this brand awareness is that make sure you choose strategies that can bring the right customers to you, not customers who walk into your school and then just turn back and say, no, this is not for us. Make sure that you're targeting the right audience so that at least when it is converting, you're able to have maybe like 10% conversion. Because in marketing, if you want 10 people in marketing, you want 10 people, you need to advertise to like 1,000. But if you use it well, if you advertise to like 100 or 500 people, you could have your 10 um, new customers. And don't underestimate the power of face-to-face interactions. When you do it strategically, it really worked. It was helpful when we tried it, and it really worked. Imagine there was a family there was a family behind the school location. For the school where we did it, there was a family behind the school location. We met that particular woman at a marketplace. Though the market was a very neat one, we targeted the right. When I went out that time, we always try to project. So this person, yeah, this should be the guy. This is who we are looking for. The way this person looks, this is who we are looking out for. And then we met with that person, we talked to the person about the school, we shared the activities for the year. And oh, wow, wow. And she's like, but this school is on the same street, it's on my street. I think the school is on number 3. That house is on like number 7. But each time the woman wants to go out, each time she wants to do her things, she goes down the street. I mean, the street has exit entry at the two ends. So the woman has not even passed the front of the school. By the time she enrolled her children that year, she enrolled her own children, biological one, and then the ones she were raising. She enrolled 6 children from her family within the same street, but we met her at the marketplace, right? But the way we did it then is that we're not just walking up to every person we see in the market. We were walking into shops that we looked at, okay, what this person is selling, this person can actually afford our school, right? And we did the same for mosque and for some other areas within the community, and it really converted so much, right? So, okay, so I've talked about brand awareness. They must know about your brand. You now need to start asking yourself, how do customers know about my brand? Okay. Then student engagement. For student engagement, it is that, see, your it's just quality, the quality that I have mentioned earlier, that school growth is within when your students are performing very well. Hmm? That's a real magic to school growth. When they are really performing, because if they are not performing well, even when you go out for marketing for adverts, hear someone, just say start but my friend's daughter is in that school and I've not really seen something fantastic that that girl is doing. My son who is in so so school is doing better than that girl. That's the brand awareness activity, whatever is has just wasted. So your number one selling points are those children in your care right now, making sure that they actualize their full potential, making sure they are well drilled, they are outstanding in terms of performance, they are doing great. That way, of course, heads will turn. Oh, which school is this child attending? Which school is this child attending? And when you are doing that, please don't focus on mathematics alone. I know of a parent who developed interest in a school just because of etiquette. She said each time that children come to our sitting room to play and all of that, that particular child will never play rough, we sit calmly, will engage her in real conversations that really make sense, and that impressed her like how wow how. And the mother was like, "Ah, I didn't do anything to really raise this child this way. Oh. It was the school." So it was for that child, it was etiquette. Sometimes it could be handwriting, it could be creative writing, it could be you need to look at it and make sure that children in your school are well trained. There's social media reach. Please don't be a school in this century without social media presence. When we type the name of your school on Google and nothing is showing, that is really, really bad. Make sure that even if you cannot afford a website for now, though I think with WordPress and some other easy tools, I think WordPress increased the rates recently, but I think there are some easy ways to get website done. But even if you don't have a website now, please profile your school on Google. Just do Google my business and follow the prompts. That way, anytime that anyone searches for your business for your school, it will pop out the name, the address, the phone numbers, the details, even with pictures. Even sometimes you can write articles, kind of blogs and post it in that your Google My Business site. Apart from that, your Instagram, Facebook, don't say my school is low cost school. Parents in my community, they don't have access to Google. Listen, when we are talking about impact, because by the time you start eyeing some international offers, it may be awards, it may be grants, it may be financial aids. They want to find out about your school and the activities that you have been doing in your school, and then nothing comes up on Google. Do you think you can defend that with parents in my community and no and they are not on they are not available online? When organizations, NGOs, organizations, when they are running their events for really, really low cost areas where the people may not even be seeing smartphones or anything, right? They make sure that all the details they are available online. The pictures, the videos, the articles about that they are available online. Pay those small, small bloggers sometimes to post maybe your end of session event. You really did it in a fantastic way. Instead of just saying you celebrated an event, just come up with maybe the keynote speech for that day, put it up as an article online, and then the blog is there. There is a blog site. We just little amount you pay them, and they post it on their blog. It is available so that anytime anyone searches for the name of your school, please make sure that your school is visible online. Make sure it is visible. Either it is low cost, for medium cost it is not even you can't not even debate it. But I'm emphasizing this because some people will say our parents are not they are not online. They are online or they are not online. Make sure that your school is visible online. The website traffic. Yes, if you have a website, then you can start putting up articles or weekly newsletters that can drive parents to that website, so that they are able to see that, oh, yeah, because your website is like your online office. Then enrollment conversion rate. You need to now sit down and look at how this, in terms of number, where are we getting the highest number? Like when we did that market, that physical face-to-face marketing, all of that, the marketplace got to a point that we got a number that by the end of the day, when school closes for the day, a school bus, once loads every child that is going to that marketplace. Like the school with the number of children going to that market alone, the number of children going to that market alone fills up a school bus. Though their pickup points in the morning maybe their parents, their parents' houses and all of that. But in the afternoon when they are going home, they drop them at the marketplace at their parents' shop and everything. So you need to look at your conversion rate. Where do you have where are you having the numbers? And then local partnerships I mentioned earlier, those children activities, children events in your areas, even in your church, your mosque, your Muslim community, participate. Maybe they're having one event, Ramadan lecture, Easter activity, Christmas, this and that, and you know that your school is in that area. Partner with those organizations, partner with them, such that your school is visible. Because if your school is faith-based and you know that parents in that gathering, they may want to enroll their kids in your school, partner in those events as much as possible, right? I took my time to explain it because we have not covered this at all in the past 3 days. Okay, so we've done this a little, but let me just tell you what it is about. Okay, so your customer service culture, your customer service culture, ensure that your customers are happy, right? They are happy and satisfied. While I understand that parents can, in this age, they can be funny, they can be demanding. In fact, the main challenge is parents don't even understand parenting. They don't know why they are parents. So they just like some they just have the kids and they just want to drop everything about that child in your school. It is your role now as schools, beyond educating the child, we need to educate the parents. When you educate the parents, it saves you of some dramas that can affect the school growth. Invest in parents. Let me use that word. Invest in parents' engagement. Invest in parents' engagement. What I mean is take some money. If it's 100,000 naira, take 100,000 naira, invest in parents. With that, that 100,000 naira alone can save you dramas that will cost you millions. What I mean by that, you have your school setting. Maybe just once in a term, have an activity, an event that parents can come into the school. Parents alone, not the I'm not saying the end of social party where everything is packed together. I'm not talking about that. Parents come into the school and you bring in a resource person to discuss with them, and maybe it's just breakfast. You serve them breakfast, or it is brunch. You serve them brunch, and you're fine. And everyone goes to their places with what they have learned. You have also built their interest in the brand. That way you have invested in them, and because you have invested in them with just that amount that you did, you have saved yourself of some alliances. Because parents, when you don't invest in parents, it's like you are sitting on a time bomb. Because at any time they can form alliance. I've seen, there are cases where parents they will form another WhatsApp group separate from the ones that the school teachers or the school directors are, and they start discussing all of those things that can bring the school down. Parents that want to complain about school fees rather than school fees that is not new. You already know that this is the amount you're paying, and then you just out of the blues just burst out that yeah, you are tired of the school fees, like that the school is not considerate about the economy. The other parents, everybody, let's come out and protest and talk to the school about their fees. That is because the parent, they did not feel loved in the business. They did not feel engaged. They did not feel that they are part of the community. So one day, somebody's head will just go the other way, and then they'll start doing things that can bring the school down. So invest in parents. Invest in parents. Yesterday, I mentioned an award that you can give to parents that are working with you to build your school's quality assurance culture. I was that yesterday or Friday. I think it was on Friday. So you can organize training programs, empower your staff, make sure that staff they are good to go, they are competent, they are innovative, and they have very good communication skill to handle issues that whenever there are issues, they have that communication skill that can really help address it appropriately. Communicate, and I love communicating ahead. So that saves a lot of drama than waiting for issues to happen before you start communicating. This is our school policy, and this is what we stand for. This is what we are doing, and all of that. So celebrate success. And all of that. Okay, I think we've talked about some of this earlier. Uh, okay, so this part now, this is community. Let me reduce it so you can see the whole screen. Okay, please look at this keyword: be visible and useful to your community. That's the main thing that I want you to take away when it comes to impact. Either it is a local school, media, whichever school it is, be visible and useful. You know, the application that I mentioned earlier today, they were talking about usefulness, that the purpose of the business beyond the regular service that you provide and you collect money. What's that usefulness of that community? I can even share the link, or I'll try to find the link and share it in the WhatsApp community so that you can see the keyword that they used. That, and then you can also apply. Yes, you can apply. Anyone can apply. It is for women-led businesses, women-led and women-owned. You know, a school can be owned by a female and not led by a female. So it must be, the condition is it must be owned by a woman and it must be led by a woman. So you must be, the brand must be visible. Like they must know about it. People must be aware in the community. They must know that this school exists. It's not like we walk into your community. Let's say your school is in XYZ community. We walk into that community and we ask, anyone asks, we are going to ABC school. And everyone will like, "Ah, ABC school. Is that one in this community?" No. So it means you are not visible. And how do you build visibility? You These regular signposts, what's it called, the ones, billboards. Yes, there may be billboards, but in case you cannot afford billboards, it's fine. There are other small ways. You know, all these in Nigeria, every street now, it's either you have these traffic lights or you have transformers or something. Why not come up with something that, I'm not talking about flyer now, something really decent that can be attached to the polls and is speaking about the community. Let's say the first one says, "Welcome to XYZ community." At the next poll, they see some community guidelines, maybe on safety, maybe some health tips, maybe some education advices, maybe some quotes, something that is really helpful to people in that community. And then you start looking. And then, it is not that you do not say admission, 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 bring your children to this school. The way you designed it, and then there is the school logo is there, and then maybe the name of the school. Anyone that walks into that community knows that, oh, this school is in this community. In fact, they may use that as a this way to a direction to your school, a directive to your school, right? That's an example. Be visible in the community. It doesn't have to be about large billboards. It could be there is this keep our environment clean. um it is welders that designed that one. That one is not, it's not for graphics people. So they do it and just erect it on the ground. Please keep the environment clean. Please clean your drainages. Please ensure your this and those community tips. I will say, wow, 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 wow. And then the name of the school is under it. That way, you are visible, you are useful, because the information on those boards, the information on those designs, they are useful for the community, and they are also able to see that, oh, this school, or if your school the street has an arc, and then you say, "Welcome to social community, designed by or presented by," but that's actually expensive anyway. But start from what you can afford. Look at ideas that are within the amount. How much can you invest in the community? How much do you have that you want to invest on your, according to your budget, and look for something visible and something useful for your community. So it doesn't have to be admission, 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 admission. Enroll your children always, always, always. No, be useful. Okay, so Connect with your local organizations, CDA, and all of that. Support local initiatives. Yes, when they're having meetings, when they want to run some projects, make sure your school is part of those projects. Collaborate with families and stakeholders within that community. Celebrate achievements. Yes, people who are really working together with you to strengthen community bonds. Appreciate them, celebrate them, maybe probably during your prize giving day as well. So as you are doing prize giving for students, teachers, all of that, and parents. So if there are people, elders within the community, ballets who have been helpful and supportive towards your school, probably they alert you in terms of security issues. They alert you, they do this, they do that. Invite that ballet and give that ballet an award. You know, award, and then just give them, take away all those your things that you pack, pack them, and that way you have built the ballet will go and start talking about your school. I remember, I think I've shared this in our community. One of the school leaders in our community shared it at the time that during Independence Day celebration, was it Independence or was it Independence? Either Independence celebration or Children's celebration, they thought of where to go, and somebody shared the idea of going to the ballet in the streets. So they connected to the CDA. The children went to the ballet. The ballet was very happy, and the ballet started asking the school owner, "Do you is your school on a permanent site? Do you need us to get a land for you? Do you need us to get engineers and start something for you?" Just that's just an example. Though she accepted part of their offers and she didn't take everything, so that it doesn't be like the community is building the school for them or something. So host free workshops and parent seminars. I've talked that mentioned that earlier. Communicate, yes, communicate with your school community. Celebrate updates in your school. Share success stories within your community, with your school. Share it in the community. You can send out designs that really shows that your school really recently, probably you recently got accredited as a Cambridge school or this and that. Those communities, those updates, those success stories. Put them out in the community. Let everybody know. Okay, I'll rush over now because I want us to wrap up early. Student success and well-being. Don't forget, on Friday I emphasize student safety. So their academic success and their safety, ensure you prioritize it. Those strategies that you can apply now. Well, I've explained all these other parts. They are explanation of the key components. So in terms of academics, in terms of operational excellence, marketing. So you have your marketing plan. Have your marketing plan. Okay. You can incentivize referral. Please, when you're incentivizing referral, I love that you give gifts rather than discounts. Right? Remember yesterday I said if I thought you want to give discounts, give from your profit margin. So you can have branded gifts that when you give people, they put it in their house and people see the name of the school. That way that's fine than giving discount pro that can throw the school into financial mess later. Okay, so I've explained. So your waiting list, that enrollment conversion rate, make sure you have a waiting list. And sometimes this waiting list, you could use it in a way that you tell parents that, okay, for year one your class is filled for year one, that any child that wants to be in year one next will have to wait till next session or till next time if you have this and that. So you have data of parents on that wait list, that parents who want their children in year one. So when you have free space in year one, you send out adverts that they should come. So anyone who enroll in first gets in, and then you close that again. Maybe it's year six you are looking for. Okay, so what you're going to do after tonight's session is to ensure that you create your you set the goals for this session. What do you want to achieve by third term to prepare you well ahead of next session. So you set your growth goals. What do you really want to achieve? And when you are setting goals, it's always important to be specific. And we want to increase in enrollment. Which enrollment? How many students do you want in each class? Do you need in each class? Do you need what is the number that you're looking out for? When you have a target number, when you state it, and then you'll be able to really know what you're looking out for. Because sometimes not all the classes need more students, need more students. Okay, so you monitor your progress, monitor your progress. Okay, I want us to wrap up. I want us to wrap up because we are all resuming tomorrow. We are all resuming tomorrow. Okay, so thank you for being part of this 3 days boot camp. We really appreciate. So if you're ready to scale your school's impact, if you're ready to scale your school's impact, um, we are here for you, for your quality assurance, for your Cambridge accreditation, for your consulting service. Either you need someone to talk to, you need someone to guide you through some challenges. We are here for you. We are just a call away, and you can visit our office. You can book physical advisory session with us. Our advisory sessions are available online, virtually, and physically. You can walk into our office space and have a session with us, one-on-one session, and we'll be there to listen to you and help you with your plans. Okay, so and yes, we have something for this third term. We have something. We have one gift, something a special offer for secondary schools that are approved by the government. Either you are in Lagos or Abuja or anywhere, we can serve you whichever part of the country that you are, is that we are ready to reduce our service rates just for 3 schools. Just for 3 schools. We don't want to take more than three, for 3 schools that are really, really ready to become accredited, targeting third term, so that by the end of third term, the school will say, yeah, this is our certificate, we are accredited, right? So thank you. We remain committed to helping schools build profitable and sustainable brands. Thank you. Now your questions. Let me take your questions before we wrap up. Let's take 5 minutes. Question for 5 minutes, and then 9:40 we close up. Yes, award for ballet, very important. Do something for them. The school should not just be demanding security, and they say we are just complaining. There is the road network is this is bad. The security is bad. What is the school giving back to the community? It is very important. It is very important. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. I see your comments. Thank you for this. That is Mrs. Ungozi Urozuru. Thank you. Can you help us send the chat to the group? Do you mean link to the group, Mrs. Majai Temitowe? Do you mean the WhatsApp link to the group or this document to the group? If there's this document, of course, immediately after this session, I'll share it in the group. Yes, I always make sure that I do that. I'll share these slides in the group so you can see it, you can use it, you can share it, you can spread it. Just don't sell it. Any material that we're sharing with you openly, yesterday we shared school fee calculator. Yes, you can calculate your school fee now easily. Either you are an accountant or not, it's something easy for you to use. Just enter the details and then it calculates it in split of seconds. Questions. Okay, so if you don't have any your comments, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Let me read from you, please. I'm not ready as for democracy. Though I see all your comments here. Yes, I see that you all have been participating actively. Oh, Mrs. Zakaria, thank you for joining. Mama, thank you always, ma. Thank you always, ma. We really, really appreciate. We really appreciate you always. You are a role model in this field. You don't get tired of learning, and I'm so surprised. We really talk about it, and we love your commitment always. We love your commitment. Yes, yes. Oh, Mrs. Amina Ibrahim, awesome session. Thank you so much, Matt. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Mrs. Oyelade. Thank you, Mrs. Adenike Abati, Mrs. Ngozi Urozuru. Thank you. Mr. Yazir Yusuf, thank you. Mrs. Zakaria, thank you so much. May the Lord continue to be with you. Amen. Amen. May God continue to be with every one of us. I really wish us a very fantastic term ahead. We pray that this term brings us peace, it brings us growth, progress, blessings, in our personal lives, in our business life, everything we desire will come out beautifully well. There shall be no drama, no harm, no cause for alarm in our various schools by the grace of God. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Tawheed. I don't know if it's a Mr. We are very grateful for this free webinar. I'll be looking forward to the next one shortly. Okay. Thank you. Yes, we are running sustainability blueprint. Let me just gist you. Let me give you that gist. We want to run a program, sustainability blueprint. Yes, we'll share the details in the coming weeks. Yes, and it's going to really be a great time. It's going to be 2 weeks of learning, 2 weeks of learning for school leaders with faculty members from various backgrounds, education, finance, human resource, and it's going to really be a great time. It's our way, like I think I mentioned it was that yesterday, that this week I just really felt the nudge to do something free, like share this knowledge free. I love exclusive sessions, where we sit in the boardroom, when we're in the boardroom, we are doing all of, the AC is there, everything, we are taking our snacks, and we're really talking money, strategies, ideas. I really love that. But you see, if something just told me earlier this week. People will say God said something, but maybe should I just call it inspiration? That there are some people I want you to help that cannot afford those exclusive sessions. So you need to really do as like, and then I felt like it. And when I started doing it, following that instruction, I felt relieved. I felt happy. And that was what happened to me last night when I shared on a group that I felt relieved. As much as this is not my regular work hour, you know, it's not my office and everything, but I really just feel fulfilled that I have done something. And I really hope that someone out there really feels the impact of this session, and it really changed their business. I'm looking out to changing the business of someone. I don't know who the person is. I don't know if the person is here right now. I don't know if the person will be watching the replay. It's like there is someone, and it may be you, it may be anyone. So that is the satisfaction I get from doing this. So thank you. It's exactly 9:40. Let's Thank you. Okay, my contact, my phone number 081. Let me type in the chat section. 08151045491. Even this contact, even if we ask Google, it will pop out. It will pop out. It is my number, that it is my contact that is available everywhere. Oh, and it's available on WhatsApp. I respond more to WhatsApp request. And Josephine's contact, Josephine is a customer care rep. So she's the one who picks the call for the company if you call in during the business hours. So, but this is my personal contact. Don't worry, you can reach out to me. You can reach out to me. Don't worry. So, but on the group, just so we take it up and discuss with everyone. Yes, use Google My Business. Go and use it is a free tool. You don't have to pay Google any money for it. So if you can't afford a website yet, do Google My Business. Set up put all your details in the Google My Business. Fill your details. Set up Facebook page is free. Instagram page handle is free. Okay, please make sure your school is visible online, regardless of who you are or where you serve from. Let me tell you, if you are a local school, there are some stories within your school community that can really change the narrative in the world. So you really don't need to play small. Don't think because you are charging 20,000 naira or 25,000 naira or whichever amount and feel withdrawn. Share your stories, your business story, your success stories, or share it online in international communities. And you don't know, you just really can't tell who is going to be interested in your school, who will really help your school grow going forward. Thank you all for tonight. We'll continue our discussions in the WhatsApp community. Have a great time ahead. Good night. Yes, Mr. Sadiq Moshour, thanks, really appreciate it. Thank you, I really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. Have a pleasant time ahead. Good night.